Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the secret formula for a long-lasting relationship. Starting a relationship can be an exciting and exhilarating experience. However, as time goes by, the initial excitement can fade away, and you may start to realize that building a long-lasting relationship takes a lot of work. The good news is that there are certain key ingredients that can help you build a strong and healthy partnership with your loved one. In this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the most important elements that go into creating a love that lasts. Whether you're just starting a new relationship or have been with your partner for years, these tips can help you improve your communication, build trust, show respect, compromise, and increase intimacy. So, if you're ready to learn the secrets of building a long-lasting relationship, keep watching. Communication. Good communication is one of the key factors that can make or break a relationship. In order to have a strong and healthy partnership, it's important to have effective communication skills. Here are some additional tips for improving communication in your relationship. Practice active listening. Active listening means fully engaging in the conversation and trying to understand your partner's perspective. This means avoiding distractions like your phone or TV, and making eye contact to show that you're actively listening. Be clear and concise. When communicating with your partner, it's important to be clear and concise. Avoid using vague language or beating around the bush, as this can lead to misunderstandings. Instead, state your message clearly and directly. Avoid blame and criticism. When discussing a sensitive issue, it's important to avoid blaming or criticizing your partner. Instead, focus on your own feelings and how you can work together to find a solution. Use I statements. Instead of saying things like "you always do this" or "you never do that," try using I statements. For example, "I feel frustrated when this happens," or "I need more support in this area." This helps to avoid sounding accusatory and keeps the conversation focused on finding solutions. Practice regular check-ins. Regularly checking in with your partner can help to prevent small issues from becoming bigger problems. Take time to sit down and discuss how you're feeling and what's been on your mind. By improving your communication skills, you can create a more positive and loving environment in your relationship. Remember, communication is not just about speaking but also listening, understanding, and working together to find solutions. Trust is a critical component of any successful relationship. It allows you and your partner to feel safe and secure in your connection, and it's essential for building a strong foundation for your relationship. Here are some additional tips for building and maintaining trust in your relationship. Be reliable. One of the best ways to build trust is by being reliable. If you say you're going to do something, make sure you follow through. This helps your partner know that they can depend on you and count on you to keep your word. Communicate honestly. Honesty is key to building trust. Avoid lying or keeping secrets from your partner, as this can erode the trust in your relationship. Instead, communicate openly and honestly about your thoughts and feelings. Show empathy and understanding. When your partner shares something with you, try to put yourself in their shoes and see things from their perspective. This helps them feel heard and understood, which in turn can build trust. Keep your promises. Whether it's a big promise or a small one, keeping your word is essential for building trust in a relationship. If you promise to be home by a certain time, make sure you stick to it. If you promise to help with a task, make sure you follow through. Practice forgiveness. No one is perfect, and mistakes are bound to happen in any relationship. Practicing forgiveness when your partner makes a mistake can help to rebuild trust and strengthen your connection. By building and maintaining trust in your relationship, you and your partner can create a strong foundation for a long-lasting and fulfilling partnership. Remember, trust takes time to build, but it can be easily broken. So, make sure you prioritize trust in your relationship and work together to maintain it over time. Respect. Respect is a crucial ingredient for a healthy and fulfilling relationship. It's about treating your partner as an equal and valuing their thoughts, feelings, and needs. When both partners show respect for each other, it helps to create a positive and loving environment. Here are some additional tips for showing respect in your relationship. Practice active listening. As mentioned earlier in the communication section, active listening is a crucial aspect of showing respect. It demonstrates that you value your partner's perspective and are willing to take the time to understand them. Avoid judgment and criticism. It's important to avoid making negative judgments or criticisms of your partner. Instead, focus on constructive feedback and encouragement. Honor boundaries. Everyone has their own boundaries, and it's important to respect them. This includes respecting your partner's physical, emotional, and mental boundaries. Show appreciation. It's easy to take things for granted in a long-term relationship, but showing appreciation for your partner's contributions and efforts is important. This helps to demonstrate that you value and respect their presence in your life. Use positive language. Using positive language can help to create a more respectful environment. Instead of making demands or using negative language, try framing things in a positive light. By practicing respect in your relationship, you and your partner can create a more positive and loving environment. Remember, respect is a two-way street, and it requires effort from both partners to maintain. Compromise. Compromise is an important aspect of any successful relationship. It allows both partners to work together to find solutions that work for both of them, even when their opinions or desires may differ. Here are some additional tips for practicing compromise in your relationship. Identify common goals. When both partners are working towards the same goals, it's easier to find common ground and compromise. Sit down together and identify your shared values and aspirations, and work together to find ways to achieve them. Practice active listening. Active listening is essential for finding common ground and reaching compromises. Make sure you're listening to your partner's perspective and taking it into account when making decisions. Be willing to give and take. Compromise requires both partners to be willing to give a little and take a little. Be open to finding solutions that work for both of you, even if it means making some sacrifices. Use I statements. When discussing difficult topics, try to use I statements instead of you statements. This helps to avoid blaming and can create a more constructive and respectful environment for finding compromises. Be creative. Sometimes, the best solutions are those that are outside the box. Don't be afraid to get creative and think outside the norm when trying to find compromises that work for both of you. By practicing compromise in your relationship, you and your partner can work together to find solutions that work for both of you. Remember, compromise is about finding common ground and making concessions when necessary, and it requires effort from both partners to maintain. Intimacy. Intimacy is an important aspect of any romantic relationship. It's about feeling close and connected to your partner, both physically and emotionally. While physical intimacy is often what comes to mind when we think of intimacy, emotional intimacy is just as important. Here are some additional tips for cultivating intimacy in your relationship. Make time for each other. It's important to carve out time for each other, whether it's date nights or just spending quality time together at home. This helps to maintain the emotional connection between partners. Communicate openly. Communication is key to creating emotional intimacy in a relationship. Make sure to share your thoughts and feelings with your partner, and be open to listening to theirs as well. Show physical affection. Physical touch is an important aspect of physical intimacy. Whether it's holding hands, hugging, or cuddling, physical touch can help to strengthen the emotional connection between partners. Be vulnerable. Being vulnerable can be scary, but it's an important aspect of emotional intimacy. Sharing your fears, hopes, and dreams with your partner helps to create a deeper emotional connection. Keep the spark alive. Physical intimacy is important for many couples, but it can be easy for it to become routine. Keep things exciting by trying new things or experimenting with different ways of being intimate. By cultivating intimacy in your relationship, you and your partner can create a deeper connection and strengthen your bond. Remember, intimacy requires effort from both partners to maintain, but the rewards are worth it. In conclusion, maintaining a long-lasting relationship requires effort and dedication from both partners. Communication, trust, respect, compromise, and intimacy are all important aspects of a healthy relationship, and it's important to work on all of them to create a strong and lasting bond. Remember, relationships are not always easy, and there will be challenges along the way. But by practicing these 5 key elements, you and your partner can work through any difficulties and emerge stronger on the other side. It's also important to remember that every relationship is unique, and what works for one couple may not work for another. It's okay to experiment and find what works best for you and your partner. Finally, don't forget to have fun and enjoy each other's company. Relationships should be a source of joy and fulfillment in your life, and it's important to prioritize your relationship and make time for each other. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found these tips helpful in building a long-lasting and fulfilling relationship.